Welcome to Spotlight. I'm Ryan Gertzma.
And I'm Liz Wade. Spotlight uses a special English method of broadcasting. It is easier for people to understand no matter where in the world they live.
Vu Ngoc Anh stands on a performance stage. Bright lights shine on her from above. Hundreds of people are watching her. They are interested in her beautiful clothing. She is wearing a kind of traditional Vietnamese clothing called an áo dài or áo dài. Ngoc Anh walks slowly across the stage. Her áo dài moves gently side to side. This is because it is made of silk, a light, flowing material. The áo dài is two pieces of clothing, trousers and a long, fitted shirt or gown. Ngoc Anh's trousers are white. Her gown is a golden yellow color. It covers her arms down to her wrists, and it fits tightly around her chest and neck. It hangs almost to the ground. The gown is split. It opens on the sides from her waist to the floor. As Ngoc Anh walks across the floor, she looks as if she is floating.
On that night, Vu Ngoc Anh won the 2012 Miss Vietnam Áo dài competition. The judges thought she looked the most beautiful in her áo dài. Achieving the title Miss Áo dài is a great honor. This is because the áo dài is more than just traditional Vietnamese clothing. It is a symbol of the history and beauty of the Vietnamese culture and people. Today's spotlight is on the Vietnamese áo dài.
The áo dài has a long history in Vietnam. Experts believe forms of the áo dài have existed for hundreds of years.
Traditional Chinese clothing has influenced the history of the áo dài. In the 16 and 1700s, Chinese rulers occupied the land of Vietnam. People were required to wear traditional Chinese clothing. Vietnamese clothing designers began to change the design of the traditional Chinese clothing. They created early forms of the áo dài to show Vietnam's separate and independent culture. During this time, members of the Vietnamese ruling family began wearing these early forms of the áo dài, and both men and women wore them.
In 1802, there was a Vietnamese leader called Gia Long. He freed Vietnam from Chinese rule. Before this time, people in different areas of Vietnam wore different forms of the early áo dài. But designers began to combine the different regional designs. The result was a form of the áo dài called the Nu Ken. from 1820 to 1841, rulers made the nu can Vietnam's official national clothing.
For the next 50 years, a new foreign power ruled Vietnam. France claimed Vietnam as a colony. During this time, many people began wearing clothes influenced by Western design. However, some Vietnamese designers reacted against this foreign cultural influence, just like they had when China ruled over Vietnam.
During the 1920s and 30s, designers in Hanoi began redesigning the nu can. The most famous designer was Cat Tuong, also known as Le Mur. This new design was particularly for women. The designers used some of the new French or Western design influences. But what they designed was not Western. Instead, it was a modern version of Vietnam's traditional clothing, what people today call the áo dài.
The modern áo dài became very popular in parts of Vietnam after the end of French rule. The áo dài was most popular from 1960 to 1975. After 1975, Vietnamese women wore the áo dài less often. The Vietnamese economy was struggling, and most people did not think the áo dài was necessary.
In the late 1980s and early 1990s, the áo dài experienced a new growth in popularity. In 1989, a Ho Chi Minh City newspaper began the first Miss Áo dài competition. 16,000 people attended the competition. But this was only the beginning of the áo dài new popularity. From Ho Chi Minh City, Miss Áo dài competitions spread around the world to places like Long Beach, California, in the United States, and the city of Toronto, Canada. Today, there are many countries that have large populations of Vietnamese immigrants. When these people moved out of Vietnam, they brought the áo dài with them.
Originally, each woman's áo dài was custom made. Áo dài makers sewed each áo dài using only a needle, thread, and her hands. A woman visited her áo dài maker many times to make sure her áo dài fit perfectly. Today, factories have begun to produce áo dài in large numbers. These áo dài are sold in Vietnam and around the world. The export of the áo dài has influenced global clothing designers as far away as Paris, France, and New York City.
Unlike many forms of traditional clothing, the áo dài is still worn by many Vietnamese women. And wearing the áo dài has special meaning. Kim Lai is a Vietnamese-American writer. On her website, she explained what the áo dài meant to her as a child.
I remember when I was a little girl. I would walk into my mom and dad's room. Behind the door hung long pieces of fabric. I knew these beautiful pieces of material were going to be made into aoyais. I remember staring up at my mom when she wore her aoyai. I would think how beautiful she looked. I could not wait until I could have an aoyai for myself.
We asked Vietnamese Spotlight listeners when Vietnamese women wear the aoyai. Listener Con Lei explained,
Women usually wear the aoyai during official holiday celebrations.
Listener Trin Huang said,
I think all women in Vietnam wear the aoyai at least one time, when they get married.
And Nguyen Tran told us,
When I studied in high school, I wore the aoyai 6 days each week.
In Vietnam, women wear many different colors of aoyai. Usually, younger women wear light colors, and older women wear darker or bolder colors. Spotlight listener Tuan Anh Nguyen explained,
Every different aoyai color and design shows the beauty and character of the person wearing it. For example, students wear a white aoyai. This shows purity, innocence, and young beauty. A woman may wear a pink aoyai at her wedding when she marries. This shows graceful beauty.
the aoyai continues to be popular in Vietnam. And people in Vietnam are proud to share the aoyai with people around the world. As Spotlight listener Tuan Anh Nguyen writes,
The aoyai is the pride of the nation. It is the pride of every woman every time she puts it on.
The writer of this program was Robin Basselin. The producer was Mark Drenth. The voices you heard were from the United States and the United Kingdom. All quotes were adapted and voiced by Spotlight. This program is called Aoyai, Vietnam's traditional clothing. We hope you can join us again for the next Spotlight program. Goodbye.